Inside the plague factory, Chinbai asks the saint, Puhishumi, for a class change scroll. Puhishumi offers him powerful S-class scrolls and even an SS class Son of Doom scroll. Unsatisfied, Chinbai states he will only accept an SSS class scroll. Puhishumi reveals there is one risky way to obtain such an item. He can perform a ritual to open a portal to a secret instance tied to the greatest plague in human history, the Black Death. Inside, Chinbai must collect plague seeds, which can then be forged into a class change scroll with a chance of reaching the SSS grade. Chinbai immediately agrees. Puhishumi sacrifices his life to open the portal to the Whales of 8 million souls, and Chinbai enters just before it closes. Outside, Han Shao frantically recounts these events to the Pioneer chat group. The members are stunned speechless to learn that a being powerful enough to shrug off Chinbai's attacks knelt before him, offered SS-class items, and was still deemed unsatisfactory, ultimately sacrificing himself just to give Chinbai a chance at an SSS-class scroll. They are once again humbled by the immense power gap between themselves and the White Emperor. Chinbai emerges from the portal into what appears to be medieval Florence. The city is deserted, save for a lone man dying of the plague. Chinbai approaches him and easily absorbs the Black Death virus, curing him instantly. This act triggers the instant's quest. He must collect plague seeds, and the quality of the class change scroll he forges will depend on the number of seeds collected. The cured man hails Chinbai as a messenger of the gods and vows to serve him. Realizing he needs followers to gather information and find these plague seeds, Chinbai embraces the role. He corrects the man, stating, "I am not a messenger. I am the god of plague." He then instructs his first follower to spread the word. He can eliminate the plague, and all who seek a cure should gather at the Lord's Square to find him. In 14th century Florence, gripped by the Black Death, a wealthy merchant's daughter named Elena, newly cured by Chinbai, runs through the streets proclaiming the arrival of the god of plague. Her own miraculous recovery is undeniable proof, and soon, a desperate crowd of plague sufferers gathers at the Lord's Square. One by one, Chinbai uses his virus absorption ability to cure them. As families are reunited in tearful relief, their gratitude turns to fervent worship. They hail him as their savior, vowing to follow him forever. Chinbai, playing the part of a benevolent deity, tells them that their kneeling is not what he desires. He only wants them to be free from the plague's torment and to spread the word of his mercy. His actions, however, quickly draw the attention of the local authorities. A group of knights from the Church of Light arrives, denouncing him as a heretic for claiming to be a god. They attack him, but their swords are completely unable to pierce his skin or cause any harm. His followers are outraged, demanding that he punish the knights for their blasphemy. But Chinbai, in a masterful display of magnanimity, stops them. "They cannot hurt me," he declares calmly, "and I won't hold a grudge or punish them. No matter how many times they stab me today, I will continue freeing everyone from the plague's suffering." This act of turning the other cheek solidifies his divine status in the eyes of the crowd, who weep and praise his boundless mercy, vowing to follow the god of plague forever. 3 days after his arrival, Chinbai has completely cured the city of Florence of the Black Death. He has taught the populace basic hygiene and his doctrines of coexisting with microorganisms, winning their hearts and leaving the local cathedral nearly empty. The bishops are in a panic, but one of them, John, argues that killing Chinbai would have been a grave mistake, as it would have only proven his divinity to the people. Meanwhile, Chinbai assesses his progress. Having absorbed all the plague in Florence, he has only completed 0.001% of his Seed of Plague quest item. However, this has unlocked a new ability, the Pillar of Plague, a structure that can absorb diseases from believers who pray before it, passively continuing his work. Before departing, he erects one such pillar for his new followers, solidifying his godlike status. He realizes that acting as a deity is the fastest way to complete his quest, saving him years of travel. His fame reaches the Vatican. The Pope, furious at this heretic, rationalizes that the god of plague must be a demon who created the plague himself only to cure it as a trick to steal believers. He reveals to Sauron, the leader of the Knights Templar, that Shinbai has now arrived at the Vatican itself. The Pope commands Sauron to take the holy relic, the Spear of Longinus, and execute the demon in front of a massive public gathering to make an example of him. Shinbai arrives at the Vatican and is greeted by a healthy child who leads him into the city. Unlike other cities under the Holy See's influence, which had barred their gates to him, he is welcomed here. He immediately recognizes it as a trap. Seeing this as the perfect opportunity to eliminate the troublesome Church of Light once and for all, he knowingly and calmly walks right into their home base. At the Vatican, the Pope publicly denounces Shinbai as a demon from the abyss, accusing him of creating the plague only to cure it as a deception to steal believers. As the crowd murmurs in confusion, Sauron, the leader of the Knights Templar, attacks with the holy spear of Longinus. Shinbai effortlessly catches the spear, noting that the legendary weapon, having once harmed the divine son, will not make the same mistake twice. Turning the tables, Shinbai accuses the Pope himself of being a demon in disguise, which is why the Church has been trying to stop him from healing the sick. To prove his point in a way the fanatical crowd cannot deny, he devises a plan. As Sauron attacks again, creating a distraction, Shinbai covertly injects the Pope with a potent A-grade demon blood essence. The incompatible power rips through the Pope's body, causing him to gruesomely transform into a horned, flame-wreathed demon in front of the horrified masses. A demon from hell has usurped the Pope's position, Shinbai declares, before delivering the final blow to the collapsing creature. The crowd is now utterly convinced. A horrified and repentant Sauron kneels before Shinbai, begging forgiveness. Playing the part of a merciful god, Shinbai forgives him and states his only purpose is to take away the plague. With the full support of the now leaderless Church, his work continues unhindered. A montage follows, showing the rapid decline of the Radiant Church and the rise of the plague cult. Shinbai travels the world for over a year, from Europe to Africa and Asia, welcomed everywhere as the god of plague. In every city, he erects a pillar of plague to absorb the disease from his followers. After 1 year, 5 months, and 12 days, his quest is finally complete. The seed of plague is fully condensed, and he is ready to reclaim the power he has spread across the globe. As Shinbai completes his mission, the pillars of plague he left across medieval Europe vanish, their power returning to him. In Florence, his first followers, led by High Priest Elena, recite the doctrines he taught them, solidifying the faith of the new plague cult. Shinbai is then teleported out of the instance, his reward materializing before him, an SSS level Life and Death job change scroll, exclusive to his Virus Monarch talent. While a major victory, he notes that Lord Leto's mission required him to obtain 2 such scrolls, so his quest is not yet over. He also receives a notification that his Plague Factory mission has failed, deducing that the key NPC, Puashumi, was the true source of the plague, and his sacrifice caused the mission objective to disappear. Returning to the present, he announces his success to the Pioneer chat group, flooring them with the news that he acquired an SSS-level scroll. The group erupts in celebration, and Han Chao suggests they upgrade their chat group into an official league, which would grant them a unified identity and other benefits. Shinbai agrees it's a good idea and initiates a group vote on the matter. Declining Han Wang's offer to rest at his place, Shinbai instead gets a recommendation for a safe, high-class villa district in the Magic City, Shanghai. He arrives at the seemingly deserted location and enters one of the villas to rest. Unbeknownst to him, two sisters are hiding in the basement. As the younger one trembles in fear of the intruder, the older, more aggressive sister vows to kill him. Resting in a safe villa in Shanghai, Bai makes a startling discovery. The historical artifacts he brought back from the medieval Florence instance, like a medicinal pillow and an ancient vase, have transformed into magic items with special properties in the real world. This prompts him to check the Spear of Longinus he received from the Knights Templar. It too has become an F-class item, a sealed weapon that deals 200% extra damage to evil and abyssal creatures. When he tries to hold it, the spear burns his hand, revealing that his own virus-based nature is classified as evil or dark. Realizing this legendary weapon is a perfect counter to him, he destroys it, removing one potential threat from the world. Suddenly, a kitchen knife flies at him, controlled by an unseen force. Unable to detect it with his usual vision, he deduces it's a spirit. Rather than destroy the room with his powerful Hellfire skill, he decides to upgrade his own psychic abilities. He spends a large number of virus points to rapidly evolve his base virus, ultimately unlocking the Spirit Power Enhanced T-Virus, and gaining a new skill, Psychic Vision. With his new sight, he sees the attackers, the spirits of a young brother and sister, Yin Qi and Yin Shui. They both possess S-rank, dual spirit body, talents, one evil and one good. Bai easily overpowers the hostile Yin Qi with his immense spiritual pressure and questions them. He learns they are only level 2 because the kind-hearted Yin Shui can't bear to hurt the zombies and has been stopping her brother from killing them. Bai scolds her for her dangerous naivety, warning that their power is tied to their emotions and that without control, they will become a foolish saint and a crazy idiot. He instructs them to close their eyes and focus on their core desires. The result is alarming. Yin Shui wants to help everyone, while the protective Yin Qi wants to kill anyone who might ever pose a threat to his sister. Bai realizes their rationality is already severely eroded, and if he doesn't intervene and discipline them properly, they are on a path to becoming pure, instinct-driven monsters. Bai begins training the twin spirits, Yin Qi and Yin Shui, using his telekinesis to exhaust their energy and force them to learn to control their emotional powers. Once they've regained some rationality, he teaches them a basic technique to manifest their spiritual energy in the form of clothing. He then takes them into the Red Star Mental Hospital dungeon within the dream world to help them level up. During their training, he receives a message from another pioneer. I am really not a sword immortal, who is desperately seeking help with his exclusive nightmare-level dungeon, the Shushan Mountain Path. The dungeon has a strict level 10 cap and a 4-member team limit. Since Bai's level is also locked at 10 until he completes his class change, he is a perfect fit and agrees to help. After a brief argument in the chat group over the final team slot, it is revealed that the quest giver has already promised it to a Taoist pioneer named Jinshiburu, as the dungeon's theme is related to traditional cultivation. After taking the twin spirits as far as they can go in their training dungeon, Bai meets up with his new team in the real world. I am really not a sword immortal, introduces himself as Chu Zixuan, and the Taoist introduces himself as Jinxiu. Bai immediately notices Chu Zixuan's numerous swords and correctly identifies his S-rank talent, Sword Immortal, a powerful ability that lets him generate sword energy and gain permanent attribute growth by creating new techniques. With the team assembled, they set off for the challenging dungeon. As the team begins their ascent of the Shushan Mountain Path, they encounter a mysterious fog and the chanting of a woodcutter illusion. The 5 elements of heaven and earth form the obstacles. Bai identifies the fog as the first trial, representing the water element. Suddenly, an invisible, ethereal sword attacks, managing to pierce even Chenbai's defenses. The team is thrown into a panic as they cannot sense the attacker with their sword intent or spiritual power. After a brief, tense struggle where Jinshu's protective talisman is shattered, Chenbai reveals he has already subdued the entity. He explains to the amazed group that their attacker was a level 12. 5-element sword spirit water, named Flowing Azure. Its power is multiplied by the presence of water vapor, explaining its incredible strength within the mist. He has used a skill from his biohazard disaster gauntlets to permanently take control of it. Though the sword spirit would be a perfect match for Chu Zixuan's talent, Chenbai explains he can only control up to 3 such creatures at the moment, so he must keep it for now. After the fog clears, signaling the end of the first trial, the team continues their climb. They soon arrive at a dense forest. The woodcutter illusion appears again, this time chanting, "The forest is full of hidden monsters, and every tree and blade of grass seems to be an enemy." Chenbai recognizes this as the second trial, representing the wood element, and anticipates a group battle. The team moves on to the second trial of the Shushan path, a dense forest representing the wood element. Knowing the new sword spirit would be hidden among the vegetation, Chenbai uses his already tamed water sword to quickly locate and subdue the wood spirit sword. Hidden greenery, adding it to his collection. The third trial, Earth, takes place on a treacherous cliffside amidst a blinding sandstorm. And Earth Spirit Sword attacks by suddenly jutting out from the rock face, attempting to knock them into the abyss. After being blown away once, Chenbai figures out the pattern. There's a slight vibration for half a second before each attack. This allows the team to dodge the subsequent assaults. Because the earth element conflicts with his water and with swords, and he can only control 3 spirits, he decides to bypass this trial without capturing the spirit. Next is the fire trial. The path leads them into an area of scorching, oppressive heat that quickly dehydrates and exhausts them. Chenbai understands that the fire spirit sword is patiently waiting for them to be at their weakest before it strikes, anticipating its move based on the woodcutter's song. Dizzy and speechless, he is ready when it appears and easily tames the fire spirit sword. Heartburn. Having passed through 4 trials, they arrive at the final obstacle, representing the gold, or metal, element. The woodcutter's final song. With a flash of golden light, the head and body parted, makes it clear that this will be a direct combat trial. After the various tricks and environmental hazards of the previous trials, Chenbai looks forward to venting his frustration in a straight fight. The team arrives at the final trial of the Shushan path, representing the gold element. They are confronted by an unfinished-looking sword. Chenbai quickly deduces its unique ability. It grows stronger each time it is damaged. After confirming its steel tempering nature by hitting it several times, he delivers a single, powerful blow to shatter it, earning a large amount of experience. With the 5 elemental trials passed, the woodcutter illusion appears one last time. He warns them that the true path to the summit will not appear if their heart is not firm, and tempts them to turn back down the mountain. Chenbai understands this is the final test, a trial of willpower. Since this is Chu Zixuan's exclusive dungeon, Chenbai explains that only his unwavering heart to seek the Tao, the way, can reveal the true path forward. Jinshu adds that he sensed a killing intent from the woodcutter, speculating that anyone who attempts to descend would be killed. With renewed determination, Chu Zixuan leads the party onward. After a grueling 4-hour walk, they finally clear the instance. Each member receives a special reward, a Shushan token, which grants them the Shushan Disciple title and access to a new, high-level special map, levels 10 to 85. Chenbai, however, knows he must put this new area aside for now. His priority is to find a second SSS-level scroll to complete Lord Leto's quest and finally perform his class change, as he is stuck at level 10 until he does so. As the group discusses how to divide the rest of the loot, the twin spirits, Yin Qi and Yin Shui, appear. Yin Qi teases Chenbai for sleeping, leading to a brief, bickering exchange between the two. Chenbai cuts it short by announcing he found a skill book in the dungeon that is a perfect fit for the two of them.